God damn show on air, and with me, I am Cole Clayton, and I have my sister Ruby Red. How you doing,
I'm doing good. Work was slow. People tip like shit, but it's okay.
dude? You still with me, man. I'm glad it's not just me because I've been working for really shitty tips all week. Honestly, for about 2 weeks now.
Me too. About 2 weeks now. It's been fucking shitty tips.
You know what it is?
What?
Last week, last Monday, not this most recent Monday, but the Monday before last was tax day, and I wonder if everybody's broke. Because
Mm,
like the people who do tip have money, right? So the people who would be broke after tax day are the people who would tip because the people who would be broke paid taxes. You know what I mean? They didn't get a refund.
yeah.
So that's the way
Yeah.
I look at it.
Yeah, and I got stiff probably like 5 or 6 times
No,
this
me
week.
too. That's been happening a lot for me to me lately too. Where I get
Yep.
we have a thing in like Uber eating and Door Dashing and stuff that's called tip baiting. Y'all don't really have a thing. Y'all don't really deal with that much in like serving tables, but that's where like somebody will put like $10 up for an order that's like right around the corner, and then after they get their food, they'll take their whole tip away.
That shouldn't be allowed.
That to me is like fraud, right?
They need to fix that. That sounds illegal.
It sounds like fraud.
Yep. Sure that they should. And you use DoorDash, right?
I use it all, everything.
Well, they need to fix that because that's going to become a huge problem here soon. They're probably going to start losing dashers over it.
Yeah. Um. So you came to Cleveland last week to see me turn old. 'Cause, I'm 30. So, like, what happened there? Well, how'd that go for on your end? I know how it went on my end, but how'd it go on your end?
I mean, I had fun. I mean, kind of what I expected, but yeah, it was fun.
Did you see any cool stuff? Or
We
no, just Cleveland.
well, no, because like I've lived up there before. Like I've already seen it. Like
You didn't really see anything when you were up here, though. I was so broke when you lived up here.
yeah, but I don't like to go places anyway. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, we did go to the art museum, which that was fun. That was fun. Your big ass son was like leaning on me the whole time, and he was.
I know.
And I
You're
love him.
probably
Don't get
tired,
me
huh?
wrong. I
Were you
bro.
tired
By the end
after
of it,
that?
I was so fucking tired. Like
I had
he's
to tell him, I was like, you know, there's a boxing move to wear out your opponent, right? He was like, what? I was like, yeah, chill out.
and he's heavy. Oh my god. And then I didn't even tell you. Oh my
Yeah, he's
god.
like 90 pounds now.
So I get back home, right? And I'm looking at my thighs and I'm like, where the fuck did all these bruises come from? There was like scattered like yellow bruises on my legs. You know what I realized? Jack
But
was like Jack was sitting in my lap and he was like crawling around and like kneeing me and shit. So his heavy ass left bruises on my legs, literally. I'm like, what the fuck?
you know what that is? That's him needing like, I don't know, a nurturer at my apartment because he doesn't get it from me, you know? I'm like, hey, cut it out. Get the fuck off me. What you're like, stop crying. Quit being a little bitch. You know what I mean? Like he
Yeah,
comes to my apartment and it's just like punches to the face basically emotionally. Like he's like, God damn, dad, it's so mean. Like
yeah,
shit. Cause like I don't know, not only that, but like that's just I'm like I feel like I'm a bit old school when it comes to my fathering, I should say, not parenting, but fathering. Because like he probably doesn't hear that like most of his friends, their dads probably are softer too, you know what I mean? If they're even around, you know. So like I don't know. I feel like the old school parenting worked until dad stopped being around, you know. So
yeah, yeah.
yeah, that's probably what that is. And just like seeing what he can get away with and shit.
Having a kid sounds like the most exhausting thing ever.
It is. It is the
It's
most exhausting thing ever.
like the more I hear about it, the more I'm like, I don't think I want to do it. but then, and I know you're not supposed to have kids to like take care of you, obviously. But when you consider the fact that hey, maybe one day I won't have kids, you have to think about, well, what's gonna happen when I get real old and I get put in a home?
But you got a 15-year-old brother, so
He'd
what?
let us abuse. He'd let them abuse us.
Dang.
I think a lot of the reasons why people have kids is because they're afraid of how they'll be treated when they're elderly. I
What
think that's a
difference
lot.
does it make?
Well, I think it's just because
Most kids don't fucking like. Once you get older, like you become like an inconvenience to them.
well, because a lot of parents think they're different when they have kids. They're like, "Oh, I'm a different parent. My kids are gonna love me. They're gonna take care of me. They're not gonna let me like die in a nursing home." And then like most people fuck up.
I don't even think it's most people fuck up. I think most people are just selfish. So by the time your parents get old, no matter whether your parent was a good parent or a bad parent, you're just like, fuck you, dude. Like you're 80, like die already.
And you want to know something? You want to know something? I have learned very honestly recently, I don't like the word selfish being used in a negative connotation. Because first of all, what's wrong with being selfish?
It's just some snowflake shit.
No, what's wrong with being selfish?
What's wrong with it?
If I'm selfish, what's it matter? I pay my own bills. I'm grown. I don't want to have kids. I don't want to share my food. I pay for. What's wrong with being? No one's gonna have your back like you have your back. Okay, this whole you're being selfish was a ploy to get people to share things. Fuck you. We're dying. You have to help it. No, I don't. I don't have to do a motherfucking thing. I don't have to do a goddamn thing.
I don't know. I have an opinion that I know I kind of aged you pretty good while you're here last week, but like not to sound like a broken record, but that is a very feminine point of view, if I do say so.
What's the matter?
I'm just saying, like I have a different opinion on it because I don't know. I've always been raised to look out for everybody. You know what I mean?
The thing is what makes a person selfish. Because I mean, I still give money to homeless people. Would I let you come stay in my house?
Why not fucking give it to me? Goddamn. If you're gonna give money, well, fuck those people. They're homeless. They're probably homeless on like that's their fault, probably. Like the way I look at it is, if you're homeless and you got nowhere to go to crash on a couch, you were probably a dick to everybody around you. So you probably just got what you deserved.
And I hate to say it, but if you're a woman and you're homeless, you just don't have your priorities straight. Because you have something that should keep you from ever being homeless in your whole life. Just saying.
I don't know. You're right, but at some point that kind of wears off because, like, at some point, like you're not pretty anymore, and who wants to fuck you? You know?
Well, yeah, because the thing is, it's literally supposed to. Women are supposed to use their pussies as a last resort of like, I'm either gonna like die on these streets, or you're supposed to use it as like, okay, I'm gonna get off these streets. I'm probably gonna find me a man who want to take care of me. He gonna help me out. He gonna help me get a car and a job, and then I'll just never be homeless again. That should be what you shouldn't be like, oh, I'm going to use this pussy to go like make some money and then keep doing what you do and then keep being homeless. That's the stupidest shit I've ever heard of. If you went from
that's somebody who didn't realize that they were going to get old. You know what I mean? I think you're supposed to use your youth strategically. And that goes for men and women. You know, women are supposed to find a way to not be homeless and to figure their shit out early, and men really they have to do the same thing, but you know you got to go about it differently. You know, we got to hustle, you know, through our youth. We still have our backs and our legs, you know.
Even people who are like, and once again, I'm not trying to hate on people, I'm just trying to understand, because people who swear that they are like clinically depressed, cannot get out of bed, can barely brush their teeth, how are you paying your bills? Because what motivates me to get out of bed in the morning is the fact that I might be homeless. So how is it that you could literally be in bed all day and still have money to pay your. What the fuck are you doing? Are you living on someone else's bills? Are you like a husband and who's letting you like beat a
when I was basically crippled by depression when I was about 22, my baby mom was paying all the bills. So I don't know if you remember those days, but most of my depression came from her just always wanting to argue with me every single day, constantly.
But did you have a job?
Huh?
Did you have a job at that point?
No, I was working in the restaurant. We were trying to do the restaurant or whatever.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So even though you were depressed, you still held a job. I'm talking about like people who swear to God that depression is the worst thing in the world. They literally can't get out of bed. They can't hold a job. They can't. Who the
But
fuck
I wasn't
is
making any money from the restaurant though.
Right, because you had a job. What I don't understand is
It
people who are
wasn't a
saying,
job if it wasn't getting paid.
How do you
It was when the restaurant wasn't open yet.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Never mind. I was confused. But that's what I'm saying. So you were living off someone else's dime.
Right.
Technically, I know you're in a relationship. I'm not trying to make you feel bad for it. I'm just saying. So the
No
people
one
who
made me feel bad for it. I know what I did.
Right. But the people who are like, oh, I'm so depressed, like I can't get out of bed, nothing motivates me, then like, what are you doing with your life? Because the biggest thing that motivates me is being homeless. I am so afraid of being homeless. I'm so afraid of not paying my I don't even like my bills to be late. I don't like that shit.
I don't like that either.
I'm afraid to go to prison. That motivates me not to break the law. You see what I'm saying? So how is it that people can just like live their lives with these types of problems and not be homeless?
Does depression qualify you for
disability? I don't think disability? So. I don't think so. I'd have to Google it, but it would have to be like one of the most extreme cases of depression because they don't like to hand out money to actual disabled people. So if you're getting money for telling people you can't get out of bed all day, where the fuck did you go? Because I'm gonna sign up too.
Right. 100%, dude. But like, I guess it would have to be like some kind of long-term depression, right? That you've had. I don't know. How would you prove it? You know?
Because I feel like people forget that depression or being depressed is an emotion, but having like clinical depression is a thing. So when people walk around going, "Oh, I'm depressed," you're not depressed. You're most likely just like in a bad mood. People use these terms so loosely these days that it's like every person you meet, swear to God, has this, has this, has this, has this, has this. It's like, do you really have it, or did you see someone else with your symptoms and assume you had it too?
I hate it when people just go around telling me their mental disorders too. It's like, because to me, it just sounds like you're enabling yourself and giving yourself an excuse for why your life sucks. You know, like
probably.
Stop telling people. We need to go back to when men were men and they held it all inside.
Shut the fuck up! I can't stay. Shut up! Don't.
I'm being serious. We need men to stop being so emotional all the time and just hold it all in. Shut the fuck up. Stop telling everybody what happened to you. Unless you like you knew what I do, which I make it funny. Oh, even if somebody asked, because nobody really cares. Nobody really, even when they ask, they don't really give a shit.
And me asking like about your life is not me saying how's your morning going. Because when I say how's your morning going and you start telling me everything wrong with your life, I get pissed the fuck off. Because that's not what the fuck I asked. I asked
nobody gives a shit.
Morning. Because I want to know what kind of mood you are in right now because I have to work with you right now.
If I'm honest with you, if I ask you how's your day going or your morning or your night or how was your day, like I don't actually even want to know. I'm just trying to do small talk, which I'm not good at. But I'm really don't answer it. Just say fine and fuck off, you know? Like
no, that's what I'm saying. Because also I'm like, I don't really care how it's going because it's not like my opinion could impact your situation in any way. You know, not that I don't care, but let's be honest, I'm not going to be able to help your situation. So when I'm asking how's your morning going, I'm really just trying to figure out if you're in a good mood or a bad mood. Because if you're in a bad mood, okay, then I'll leave you the fuck alone. All right, but if you're in a good mood, we're good. Other than that, I don't care what the fuck you do outside of work unless we're friends. But being coworkers is not always equal up to being friends. So when I say how's your morning going, don't trauma dump on me. I didn't ask for that shit.
Let's talk about that for a second. Let's open up that little wrinkle real quick. How many times has somebody like thought they were your fucking friend because y'all work together? I've had a lot of people get really upset with me when I told them, I was like, "Oh, we're not friends. We just hang out, or we don't even hang out. We just go to work together." And then like at first they're like, "Oh, you're so funny," because it does sound like some shit I would say. You know what I mean? But like I'm like, "Dude, no, like I don't like. Have you ever noticed that like y'all all go out after work and something, and I go home? It's because I'm not your friend. Like I work here. I don't. Most of the time, y'all piss me the fuck off because y'all ain't doing y'all's job because y'all are worried about gossip.
And then
Like,
people, my coworkers would be like, "Oh, when 2 o'clock hits, Liberty's just out the door." Damn right, I'm out the fucking door. I'm not trying to fucking linger. I'm not trying to fuck.
who the
I'm,
fuck would where
not
else
trying
would
to.
I be? What the fuck?
Like you see this right here, bro? This has got me in a chokehold. I would go outside all day rather than talk to you. I want to talk to this vape pen real quick.
That's hilarious.
But also, I used to be really bad at trauma dumping, right? And it really wasn't my fault because it was really just like any question you asked me was a trauma dump, right? So I used to be really bad about it. Nowadays, I completely avoid anything that's like very like trauma dumping anyway, but I also don't ask other people that much. I'm not deep with people like that really. But the other day, I was talking to my manager, the male manager, and he was asking me some questions, and I would answer them. And finally, he was like, "Do you have any story that's not like fucked up?" I was like, "No." And he's been my manager for like 2 or 3 months now. And that's when it clicked that I was like, damn, I ain't been telling people about my life lately. Because everyone was kind of like, oh, I didn't know that about you. And I was like, you know, there was a point in time where a lot of people knew everything because I kind of talked about it a lot, but I don't do that
Right.
shit no more. I don't talk as much that more. So I just realized like I don't trauma dump on people because I also realized it's rude to them. Not everybody's trying to hear about your life. Not everybody's trying to hear about your shit. And I got a lot of shit. So you know what I do? I shut the fuck up.
I took a different approach in life um, than that, which is like I find an opportunity to trauma dump on people because it's hilarious. You know, like, and then people are like all like shell shocked, and then I walk away. It gives me a great opportunity to now I've left. I can leave this little gossip situation, and nobody talks to me anymore. You know, so it's the same result as you. 'Cause then you don't have to chit chat with people because
Fuck.
people have
I
learned
mean,
that if they try to chit chat with me, I'm just gonna trauma dump on you.
I've honestly gotten to the level of like unbothered. Like if you stop talking to me, good. Like you just did me a favor, honestly.
Same,
And I'm kind of
same.
like that at work too now. Like when people don't tip me, I just don't give a fuck anymore. I'm like, whatever. Like I was gonna have to be at work any fucking way. What does it matter at this point?
No. I would be pissed if you spent what's the average you say amount of time people spend at a table? 20 minutes?
Yeah. 20, 25, 30's pushing it. That's if you got like a bunch of people there talking. But if you're thinking of staying at a restaurant for 45 minutes to an hour, don't go to a diner. Go to like a fancy restaurant. I work
Yeah.
at kind of like a diner breakfast kind of situation, and we're not trying to have people sitting up in there for an hour, 2 hours. Like we got bills to pay. You gotta get up and get out. And that's why that fucking air conditioner's on. Everyone's like, I'm cool. Yeah, get the fuck up and leave then, please.
Make it hot.
No, so my cook will pass out. No, I need them up and wait.
That's funny. Um,
But I was gonna say the fact that everybody's got all these like mental disorders and they got all these like, I mean, autoimmune diseases have just been on like a rampage. When I went to my doctor and finally told him I was experiencing
you
generalized
have a
anxiety,
doctor?
I did back in the day, not anymore.
Oh, okay.
I was in Mississippi and I was a kid then, so it was like a kid doctor.
Oh, okay.
17.
It wasn't your doctor. It was mom's doctor for you.
Pretty much, yeah. I haven't gotten a doctor. I have not gotten into a doctor in 3 years because I don't fuck with him. I just don't give a fuck. Because every time I go in, they just tell me I'm fat. I get it. So you know what? I won't come back till I'm not fucking fat. I get the fucking message. So fuck y'all. I don't go to doctors, right? I'll go to urgent care. I'll go to emergency. Fuck you, doctor's offices. Y'all are bitches. Anyway, the first time I told the doctor I was experiencing anxiety, they give you like a test, right? And you kind of know which ones not to mark. Yes, the ones that say, like, have you thought about harming yourself or others? Nope. Nope. Real quick, I'll say no because that'll get you 72 hours. real quick. If you mark yes on that one, 72-hour hold. But anyway,
why did you ask that question? Like,
don't ever answer that one honestly. You always say no. Have you thought about hurting yourself or others? No. Do
okay,
not answer that.
but that's dumb because, like, who doesn't think about harming others
They
constantly?
will lock you up. Do not
I'm
put
just saying,
that
that's a dumb question.
They,
Like, they really should ask it, like how close have you come to hurting others? You know what I mean? Like,
that's for the therapist. That's for the therapist. That's therapist shit. So the doctor, I do the little paper test. She comes back after like 20 minutes, and she was like, "So
that reminds me. Hold up. For instance, like, how close or what is it like? Have you thought about harming others? Okay, yes, I can give you one right off the. Somebody cut me off the other day, and then we both ended up at the same red light. So I got out of my car and knocked on his window and said, he rolled his window down. He was like, "What?" I was like, "Don't ever do that again unless you want to fight." And he's like, rolled his window up, and I got back in my car.
did you really
That's
do
how
that?"
close. That could be more more of a unit of measurement rather than asking if I wanted to hurt somebody.
You
Because
really
if he come out swinging, I would have hurt him for sure. But all I wanted to do was really, hey, don't do that again, man. Like,
you did that,
yeah, I did that.
bro. He was in fear for his life.
Yeah, he was.
He
I'm glad
was
he didn't have a gun. I probably
because
could have gotten shot there.
the only people who get out of their car to do that are crazy people.
I might be a crazy person.
These
Like,
motherfuckers they'll cuss in their car, but they'll keep it moving. If you get out the car, bro, you might need to get a little therapy, bro.
I'm tired of fucking people just thinking they can do whatever they want. Ever since the shutdown, man, everybody is just for themselves. Like, I don't know if you noticed, but like, you weren't even an adult before the shutdown. So I guess I'm talking to the wrong person, really.
You
But
are
like, there was
person.
like a level of respect for everybody before the shutdown, and now nobody gives a fuck about anybody but themselves.
Yep. Or has it always been like that, and you're only just now, or did it just intensify?
No, Ruby, because like I don't know. What was the last time? Like, how often do you go out to eat? Like, whether it's to pick up or to eat out or to just get fast food or whatever. How often do you go out to eat?
Probably like 3 or 4 times a month.
Okay, and have you noticed that customer service is just garbage?
Yeah.
Yeah, that didn't used to be like that before the shutdown.
Especially drive
It
through,
was,
especially.
yeah, dude, because they want you to use the fucking app now. Like, but like before that, it was, "Hey, how's it going? What can I do for you?" Even if it was fake, at least you gave the common decency to be fake.
Right.
Nobody does that anymore. Like,
That's
they're
what
like
it is.
50
Customer
there.
service is just being fake. Like that's just what you got to do. I do it at my job. I'm so
Yeah,
nice. I'm not rude to nobody.
that's not a normal thing. What you do is not a normal thing no more. That's what I'm saying. Nobody gives a fuck about anybody now.
Nope.
There's a common level of respect for everybody. And I'm out around all day, and I'm a full-time DoorDasher, right? So like, I have the customer not giving a fuck about me, the company not giving a fuck about me, and then the restaurant not giving a fuck about me, and then I'm on the road, so none of the people on the road want to give a fuck about me. You know what I mean? So like, I'm at my wit's end when somebody cuts me off, like legitimately cuts me off. That's another thing. Somebody cut me off. Grayson was there with me in the car with me, and somebody just like whipped out in front of me. So I had to like slam on my brakes on the freeway. This is on the freeway, by the way. So I fucking slungshot around him and then got in front of him and slammed on my brakes just to fucking back. Like, that was earlier this week.
You know that happened to me in Ohio actually.
Oh, really?
With my friend who was, they were actually driving me to the airport. This was like 3 years ago, and my friend cut them off. On God, he'll say he didn't, but he had that turn signal on for half a second. And he just, and that car did what you did. He got in front of us. He brake checked us on the highway, and I'm like, I'm a passenger, bro.
Your friend deserved it. You and your friend deserved it.
He deserved it. I'm in the car. Yeah, I didn't deserve it. Fuck you.
Well, you're in the car. That's what you get. And you're in the car with a jackass.
So that's like pretty common in Ohio, apparently. But also, I told you on. Never mind. Mom watches these, huh?
Yeah, why?
Oh, just never mind. Anyway, the whole point about the story I was telling earlier about the doctor.
Yeah, doctor. Back to the doctor.
So I did, the anxiety and the depression test that they give you. She came back like 20 minutes later. She was like, "So you scored pretty high on your anxiety and depression test." And I was like, "Oh, did I get an A?" I actually said that to the doctor. She laughed.
she wrote something, right?
No, but she giggled to herself though. She was like, so she was like, "Okay, well,
no, you got a D for depression.
Right. That would she should have said that. That'd have been hilarious.
You got a C for clinical
You got
depression.
an A for anxiety and a D for depression. That'd be hilarious. But their first response
You got
was,
a B for boring.
but their first response was, "Oh, we can get you some medication for that."
Of course they can. That's what they're trying to push that.
They didn't say therapy. They didn't say let's do some blood work. They didn't say, let's get you let's see about your diet. Maybe it could be something you're eating. It could be a vitamin in that
medication.
Straight to medication. And
Right,
I tried two different ones. I don't remember the names, but they were SSRIs, which is serotonin reuptake inhibitors. I don't know what the fuck it does. I tried to Google it. It was all a large amount of big words. I was like, I don't know what the fuck this means, but okay. So tried the first one, went to the doctor, told her I didn't really feel it. Like I didn't really notice a difference. Got the second one. Tell me why I'm at work one day and a manager who's not even really like a manager who's there all the time. They're like a general manager, so they hop to store. So he comes in and, he's working with us for probably about an hour and he was like, "Liberty, do you feel okay?" I was like, "Yeah, why?" He was like, "You just don't seem like yourself." And that's someone who
medication?
Yes. And that is someone who does not see me on an everyday basis. And he noticed that something was weird. I didn't notice shit. But come to find out, it's because I was like zonked the fuck out and didn't even realize I was like zonked the fuck out. I was kind of like passive.
Dude, my fucking baby mama, she was convinced and she had PTSD from her childhood, and you know her.
And maybe she did, I'm not a doctor. Who knows?
She was convinced she had anxiety, she was convinced she had depression. I thought she was the liveliest woman.
She had it all.
I was convinced she was the liveliest person I ever met. Like she was always so bubbly and giggly or whatever.
She was.
Yeah, she was totally. That's why I liked her in the first place, because she was very up. In the clouds a little bit, but like
she could make friends with everybody. She could go anywhere and just like
everybody.
She never showed anxiety. She never showed
not antisocial.
No,
never wanted to be at home. Always wanted to be
around people. Actually, did not want to be alone. Wanted to be around people. So the fact that she was always like, I have anxiety and all this and all that, but it's like, but you're always with people and some flaky ass people too. At that might be giving you some anxiety.
That's a whole nother story for a different day. They put her on. She went to therapy and they started putting her on all this fucking medication, SSRIs and anti-anxieties and sleeping medication. Dude, she went fucking off the walls, fucking goddamn crazy, dude.
She went off the rails.
Dude, it never was the same. Never was the same again. Like off her goddamn mind. Thought I was cheating on her all the time.
And bro, she used to be offering them bitches like Tic Tacs too, just so you know.
About everybody, she's fucking weird.
Like they were party.
I know one of those people that she didn't feel that she was interesting enough, so she needed to have depression. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I feel like it is with a lot of people that are, I have depression. No, you just think you're boring.
You know what I think it is? I think it's the food. I think it's the fucking food. I think they're putting so many fucking preservatives and so many fucking chemicals and so many foods that are banned in other countries that everyone's just having fucking problems and everyone's overweight and they're all going fucking crazy too. Have you noticed? I don't know what they did since the 80s to now, but the food has just gotten really bad.
Well,
and everyone's got health issues.
It's implied that they started using psilocybin or some bullshit word I can't pronounce, to spray on the crops back in 2008. which is I don't know, it's a way to keep the bugs off or whatever. And that's when our food supply started to change, started to taste different and everything. There's supposedly they have like microplastics in our food too, you know. Which,
I
but
wouldn't even
if
trust
you
half
track
the
back
fucking.
when the rise of depression and the rise of SSRIs, that goes back to the 90s, you know, because they go. I honestly, this is what's crazy. Have you ever seen The Sopranos?
No.
Okay, so you should watch it. It is a very good show, and like it's pretty much the reason why we have a lot of the television we have today, where like crime shows where the criminal is actually the main character and stuff like that. Breaking Bad, all kinds of different shows, Snowfall,
Dexter.
everything. Everything is because of The Sopranos. Now that show came out in 1999. Um, but the plot of the show is the head of the New Jersey faction of the mob starts having panic attacks, so he has to go to therapy and start using SSRIs and antidepressants and anti-anxiety medication. And that was right around the time of the rise of it. Now, I personally feel like going back and rewatching that show, since I wasn't really old enough to watch it when it came out, I feel like that show was a way to desensitize people towards therapy, and because if you think about it, in the '90s, people weren't going to therapy yet. People didn't start going to therapy until like the mid 2000s, the early 2010s, on a
Yeah.
regular and
Yeah.
using medication stuff. So I feel like it was like a psyop to get people on medication. Now that goes in with what you're saying. I feel like they're putting you on medication, or they want to put you on medication because they don't actually want to get to the bottom of what's wrong with you. They just want you to go to work. You
Yep.
know what I mean? That's
That's
just
what it
what they
felt
want
like.
to do.
That's what it felt like because and it was fucked up because I even like mentioned that I would like to go to therapy, and my mom was going to therapy with them at the time, right? I get a phone call from her therapist asking if I wanted her to be my therapist.
No,
First of all, that's illegal. That's a conflict of interest.
I don't think
You,
it's illegal.
I think I'm pretty sure you
People
can't.
have family therapists. That is a thing.
But it
But
wasn't supposed to be like a family therapist. It was supposed to be like do I want her to be my therapist also while she's also a therapist to my mother? No,
that
no,
sounds
thank
like a
you.
Ponzi scheme.
Didn't it? Because my mom had already gotten to her, so no, hell no. Especially because like she already spoke to you first, so no. So I told her no, I'd like a different therapist. Tell me why I never got a call back. And like one
Because
day,
you didn't put any work into it.
no, one day, no, because I kept telling my mom, like, you should schedule me an appointment. Like, they said they're going to call me back and da, 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 da. Tell me why. I get home one day and
Tell me why.
I see my little brother on the phone and, like, my mom's sitting right next to him and I'm like, what's going on? And she's like, shh, he's on a therapy phone call. Okay, so when I blow up a fucking car because I requested therapy and and both of you motherfuckers are getting it, I don't want to hear shit. Never went to
You're
therapy.
gonna blow up a car.
Never, clearly I didn't, but never went to therapy to this day because I'm like, and that's not even my first bad experience with someone else's therapist. The first one was your fucking baby mama, and I went to her fucking, and I said something. First of all, her therapist was just eating everything up. By the way, everything Bridget was, oh yeah, oh you're just believing her 100%, just fucking feeding, milking the shit out of her.
You're telling me because like she was telling my baby mom was telling this therapist that I was like this, basically implying that I was this evil man. You know what I mean? And I used to take offense to all of this because a lot of people have referred to me as like this asshole, this bad guy, or whatever. But I realize that it's just because I'm masculine, like
Not
that.
evil.
Like I'm a toxic masculine. I have toxic masculinity, and that like they're villainizing that
I've
right
never
now.
seen you do something evil.
Huh?
I've never seen you do something evil. You're not evil. That's
Yeah,
not what that is.
I'm just a guy who
Yep.
is confident in being a guy, and that comes off like people hate that, specifically women, but also like bitch made men as well because
Yeah.
like I'm just an old school dude. Like, and for a long time, I was embarrassed and insecure about it in my early 20s that I was just this way. You know what I mean? I was like, no, I'm a feminist or whatever. No, not. No, it wasn't. I'm glad I grew out of that. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, she tried to fucking villainize me. So you're not the only fucking one that had the bad
Yeah.
experience with my
Then,
ex's
then at
therapist.
the end of that fucking therapy session, right? Your baby mama was like, Ruby, do you want to mention what you've been experiencing to her? Maybe she'll have some advice for you. And I said, I've been experiencing some anxiety because I'm fixing to start high school. And she was like, oh, you'll probably get over that. You'll probably grow out of it. Okay. So fuck
Damn.
me. So you know what? Y'all are putting down the vibes and I picked them up. So me and therapy don't get along. How about that? Because I tried and I got
Should we talk
fucked.
about? Should we
It
talk
happened to
about
you too.
what?
It happened to you too.
Yeah, should we talk about my
How
therapy
you had
experience?
a fucking therapist who ghosted you. That was fucked.
Yeah, that was the first one. So when me and my baby mama split, um, she was pretty much trying to keep the kid away from me. All she could, threw accusations out there, um, using the power that the state gave her to keep the kid away from me. So I had to go through all these channels for two
So many
years.
girls.
Yeah, to jump through hoops to develop or to, I don't know, prove I was the father, prove that I was stable, prove that I had a roof over my head, all just everything. She like implied that I was dirty and my house was dirty. I'm like, you've never been to my house since I've moved here. Like just so much shit. Like, so I ended up having to go to therapy to kind of like and really, I didn't even want to go to therapy, but everybody was like, "Oh, if you go to therapy and the therapist says you're
It was
cool,
good.
it'll look good." Yeah, so like I went there with an honest, look, and I don't know. The therapist was basically like kind of, she kind of implied a lot of my stories weren't true to my face, right to my face. Like she was basically like, "There's no way this happened to you," and there's
Oh
things like.
wow.
Like one of the things, I fell in a pool and was left basically for dead to drown when I was 4. That shit's in a newspaper down in Southeast Texas. Like um
Wow.
just different stuff. I was kidnapped when I was 6 and dragged to Florida. That
You
the
were.
feds got involved in that. Like I'm not lying. These are real things. It sounds crazy, but if you want me to prove to you, I'm not going to prove to you. You're a therapist. I pay you. Fuck you. But yeah, so she
Right.
basically ghosted me because I was a liar. Like I wasn't taking it serious. Um, but even if I'm not taking it serious, even if I'm lying, shouldn't you try to get to the bottom of that and why would
And
feel
if you
I
need to
would
get to the
want to
bottom,
lie to a therapist?
and if you need to figure out if I'm lying, it sounds like either you're dealing with a pathological liar, which maybe not be your field, so you need to refer him to a specialist, and also get in contact with the family to see if he is lying. But just full on not believing him to his face is bullshit. Because if you had been a woman and you had claimed like abuse, I bet you there's no therapist in the world that would look her in the face and say, "I don't believe you."
Yeah, dude. So yeah, all these things. And it probably was a little bit of the fact that like I was being accused of abuse at the time. You know what I mean? So it probably was all these things that sound like I was, but my baby mama.
Right, right.
Those were pending charges at the time. They.
So you think she was biased?
Yeah, I do.
Wow.
So yeah, she goes to me or whatever. Um, and I took offense to that a little bit at the
Did
time, but
she
I had so much other
officially do
things going
that?
on.
Did she ever give you an email stating like we will no longer be in contact? Like she just stopped contacting you and you just stopped going?
Yeah, yeah. I just like just stopped going. Like I don't know. And then that was in 2021, like shortly after you had come up here. That was probably summertime 2021, and then probably last year went to another therapist, another woman. Um, And she was pretty cool, but she was a little bit younger than the last one. She was my age, a little bit older, maybe 35.
So you haven't tried a male therapist?
No, I haven't. I don't know.
You need to talk to a dude, man. Just go talk to a dude about it. I'm sure he would get it, honestly. Like, he would not call you a liar. These women out here doing you dirty.
For whatever, yeah, that's true. For whatever reason, I don't feel well connected when I'm talking to other men. Does that make sense? And I'm starting to get that point with women too, mind you, because it seems like no matter what you say to a woman, it always ends up getting used against you, no matter who or what the professionality of the woman is. Like a therapist, you're supposed to tell them everything, and they still don't give a fuck. I wasn't. I guess I shouldn't talk about it, but yeah, no. The other one kind of did a similar thing. Um, Pretty much like I went to her school or whatever. Huh?
She ghosted you too, kind of?
Kinda. I don't know. She got like really, really involved to the point where it was getting kind of clingy. So I was like, it almost started to feel like she was like wanting to date me. And I was just like, yeah, I'm not paying $200 an hour to go out with you.
That sounds like a prostitute.
Yeah,
that's what prostitutes are for, So I'm good on that. And
she would be like texting me in the middle of the night and shit. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's weird.
How are you doing? What's up? Because I think it really was just because we were so similar in age. You know what I mean? Like,
no, that goes against protocol. You're not supposed to text at those hours,
right?
Especially like unprompted. No, you're not really supposed to text your clients unprompted anyway. Like, therapists are like, they even tell you in the session, I believe, that if I were to see you in public, what would you be comfortable with? Would you want me to ignore you, pretend like I don't know you? Do you want me to approach you, or do you only want you to approach me? How would you like to do that? They're supposed to ask you.
Anybody asked me that before.
You're supposed to. They're supposed to, because if you see your therapist in public and you say you're like with your girlfriend and you don't want your girlfriend to know you're going to therapy for whatever reason, and the therapist approaches you and is like, oh, hey, how you doing? And this chick's like, how do you know this chick? Are you cheating on me? Or no, now I have to admit I'm going to therapy, which I don't want to do. They can't do all that. They're supposed to ask you what you would like me to do. Like, is it okay?
Why would approaching me ever be like?
That's never. That's like never. Like, not even like an approach, but like a wave, or like, do you want me to acknowledge?
When I run into comics in Cleveland, like I run into comics all the time, and I see them, and I try to make sure they don't see me, and they always do. They're like, "What's up, Cole?" And I'm like, "I'm trying to grocery shop." Like, what do you mean, what's up? I got a grocery cart. What do you think? You're doing the same thing. We don't actually know each other. Like, we wouldn't know each other if we didn't have fucked up childhoods. Like, leave me alone.
That's hilarious.
I don't know, I run into people all the time. The Cleveland is like it's weird because like Cleveland is this large city, but it has a very small town feel because you run into people all the time, no matter where you are in Cleveland. I know a lot of people on the east side, obviously because I live on the east side. And if I'm on the west side, I'll bump into people over there who are from the east side. I'm like, yeah, it's weird, dude. It takes fucking basically 45 minutes to get from one side of Cleveland to the other. It's a big ass city.
No,
and
I
you
hate
can still run into people all the time.
No, I honestly hate that because on God, the way I look right now, you would not be able to tell I was the same individual if I didn't have like my makeup and like my hair, like the outfit. I look like a homeless person so much of the time. Like, not really so much out in public, like definitely at home. That like, because I don't want to be like recognized that much. When I do my makeup at work, it's really like mostly a mask. So hopefully when you see me in public, I'm not recognized because I'm not trying to like, just like you said, I'm not really trying to like be bothered, especially if I'm running errands, because I've already worked up the energy to go run these errands mentally, and now I didn't plan to talk to you all day. And bro, like, what the fuck am I gonna talk to? Like, me specifically, maybe not you, but me specifically. What the fuck am I gonna talk to people about? Okay, I ain't got no kids. I'm not going to college right now. I sit at home, watch Netflix, and smoke weed. And most people down here think it's the devil's lettuce. So I cannot have a fucking conversation with you, Mary. Jesus Christ. Goodbye. I'm here to buy some fucking blunt wraps.
Yeah, well, with me, it's like, I'm not a friendly person. Like, I'm not, hey, what's up? You know what I mean? But I come off that way because of the internet and my career choice, because I'm basically pretending to be a more obnoxious version of myself. You know what I mean? So, like, I think everybody, when they run into me, they're like, "What's up, Cole?" I'm like, I'm not really that guy. Like,
Right, like, I'm kind of tired, yo. Like, can we not do this? And that's the thing. Some people are just on all of the time. It's like, how are you like this right now? Like, you just have this fucking bubble of energy going all day, every day, from the moment you wake up to the moment you close your eyes. And it's like, I have to like get ready in the mirror before work. I have to be like, all right, you can fucking do this, man. You can fucking do it. Like, you could deal with these fucking shitty ass motherfuckers. You can do it. You deal with this bullshit. Because my whole staff on morning shift is women.
oh,
And I'm the youngest. So you know them bitches hate me because I'm the fucking cutest. I hate to say it. Them bitches hate me. I don't give a fuck. Not all of them. Not all of them. There's a couple of them that are like there's one. The bitch keeps fucking with me, bro. She's trying to do psychological warfare. She keeps telling me that I smell. Right. And then and she's mentioned it a couple of times, and she's kind of said it in a way it's like, oh, what like perfume are you using? She's a really heightened sense of smell, and I know that for a fact. Okay, because she can literally smell when my menstrual cycle is on. And it's just like a weird pheromone that some people have. You can Google it. Some people can smell it like in your pheromones, in your sweat and stuff. I don't know, it's weird. So she has like a heightened sense of smell. So I was like, oh, okay, like maybe the perfume I'm wearing is just like too strong for you or something. And then one day she kept telling me it smells like cat piss. I don't have cats. And I wash my clothes and I shower every day. I shower every day. And I didn't really realize it until I wore some lemongrass oil, which mom gave to me. And what does it smell like? It smells like lemons. What does lemon smell like? Cleaning supplies. All cleaning supplies, lemon fresh. She tells me that I smelled. And then all my other coworkers are like, oh, you smell so good. But she's like, you don't smell. She's not saying it in front of other people. She's like saying it to me quietly. She's like, you just smell. It smells like cat piss. I just can't. I'm like, this bitch is really fucking with me hard. Like, she's fucking with me hard. Like, you're a hater, bro.
So we're harder.
I've worn 3 different perfumes.
Louder.
I'm gonna wear more. Like, I've worn 3 different perfumes. Okay, not because of her. Not because of her. I'm not like wearing different perfumes because of you. Fuck you. I just, different ones will go out. And and I wash my clothes every night with laundry detergent and laundry seasoning, by the way, which is the laundry beads, laundry seasoning. And I shower. When I shower before work and after work. There's no way I smell. I wear so much deodorant. I have a roll-on deodorant and spray deodorant. I don't fucking smell, dude. I don't have cats. I don't have animals. I clean my house for fun. You're not going to sit here and tell me maybe I smell like weed. Maybe she might be confusing cat piss with weed because she don't smoke. But I don't smell like weed when I go to work. Everyone says I smell good. I wash my hands. Like, she's fucking with me. Because I'm pretty? Fuck you. So that's what I got to do when I go to work in the morning. I got to, like, mentally prepare myself. Whereas other people just, like, spring out of bed, just like, good morning. Ready for the day. Like, bro, shut the fuck up.
If somebody tell me I smell, I'm going to ask 3 other people. I'm like, do I smell? And if all of them say no, I'm fighting that guy.
I don't know what her deal is. Like, at first I just chalked it up to, okay, she's got like a sensitive nose. Like, mom would do that sometimes too. She'd be like, oh, that's really strong cologne. Go spray it outside. Like,
like I couldn't wear like $5 fucking body spray because mom was being a bitch about the smells of them. I'm like, fuck off, mom. Like, I can't help it. You're a bitch. Like,
So I just figured that, maybe
No.
the one I was wearing was heightened and it was
You're supposed to smell it.
No, she's not, because I smell good, bitch. I smell good. I fucking look good. I'm fucking 21 years old, and you're jealous. Be fucking jealous. Like, you're fucking 45. Be mad. I don't give a fuck. Like, I can't help it that I'm cute. I was born this way, thank you. I didn't put no fucking effort into looking like this. You see how long my hair's grown out? I don't even try, and I'm still fucking cute. So don't even play with me, bro. Fucking telling me I stink. I ain't never heard that shit in my life. That's bullshit.
So, pivot. You said you wanted to talk about aliens.
Do you believe in aliens?
I did. Until the government was like, oh, yeah, they're aliens. And now I'm like,
So they confirmed it, technically?
Yeah, they came out and said that they're aliens, like legit. I'm like, I don't believe in this. This is all doing something sketchy. As soon as like at the moment that I heard that the government was confirming UFOs and aliens, I was like, y'all are bullshitting. It's like, I don't know. Those motherfuckers are liars, bro. That's all they do is lie.
No, you're right. You're right. Okay.
But yeah, that doesn't mean that there isn't aliens. That just means that what's going on aren't actually UFOs.
If you did believe in aliens, what do you think they would look like? Hypothetically speaking.
I don't fucking know.
I mean, do you think they would look like us? Do you think they'd be like blue or green? Do you think they're shaped like the fucking aliens?
Because it really depends on the quality of air and how they breathe and whether or not they need sunlight and just all kinds of different stuff. There's so many variables. What planet they're from, what galaxy they're from. Are they from a different dimension? Are they from a different universe? Like, is there a multiverse theory? Is that true?
Multiverse theory?
I don't necessarily not believe in it. I don't like that's just kind of out of the realm.
To be honest with you,
if I'm honest,
I don't like to go on things that are a little too far out of reach because it's like, okay, maybe there are aliens, but why are we so worried about what's going on in space when we could be worried about what's going on Earth? Because it's looking pretty bad to me. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I think it's important for us to get out into space because at some point our sun's going to blow up.
Yeah, like in 30,000 years.
Well, they don't know when it's going to be.
I've always heard it.
We need to start developing. Why not develop that technology as immediately as possible? You know, just to get ahead of it, regardless. Because you don't know how long it's going to take. Because it takes fucking 3 years to get from Mars and back. You know what I mean? Like we need to be able to get out into space at a reasonable time without sucking your eyeballs out of your head. You know,
I feel like we need to be more worried about like healthcare and like homelessness and drug addiction and like why are all these kids shooting up schools? Think we should be looking into that.
SSRIs, look into it.
You think that's it? Is that what RFK said?
Yeah.
That's what he said. It says the serotonin reuptake inhibitors.
And I'm probably gonna get a YouTube strike for this too. So, but
why? What does that mean? A strike?
Yeah, you can get in trouble on YouTube for saying stuff like this.
But what happened to freedom of speech? Whoa.
Okay. Yep. Joe Biden's America.
Oh wow. Okay, you get a strike for what you just said.
But no, here's my theory on why we also need to develop our Space Force and be ready for if aliens are a real thing and just plan. Because we also need to plan because like Russia and China are talking about wanting to go to space too. But like if there are aliens, this is my theory on it, okay? You know what separated us from the apes?
What?
Right. We developed our brain. That's really what separates us from the apes, okay? The reason why we developed our brain is because we somehow evolved from just eating plants to eating meat and plants. So the amino acids in meat and plants gave us basically our intelligence. Well, and so we were able to build all of these different technologies over time in society for over the last couple thousand years, right? Now, so if that's the case, then an alien who developed a fucking spaceship that could travel through space and get all the way over here from wherever the fuck they came from has to have intelligent, like brain waves. You know what I mean? If that's the case, they probably eat meat. Anything that eats meat will kill you.
That's a good way to sum it up,
That's the way
honestly.
I look at it. So of course I'm afraid of aliens are real. Like,
Oh my god. Let's hope they aren't. We're fucked.
for sure, 100%. So like honestly, it's probably too late. If they get here and they want to fucking fight, we're already fucked because they're already here. You know what I mean? Like,
You know, my boyfriend had never seen Signs. I showed
really?
him the movie like I think a month or two ago. I
Figured
know, old
it out?
old as he fucking is. You think he'd seen it, right? Now I got to show him all the fucking classics. He didn't even know about Hustle and Flow. I had to like, you know what I'm saying? I had to like show him. But anyway, Signs was really good. But let me tell you, when I was a little kid and I was watching that movie for like 5 or 6 and with no context, I could not for the life of me understand why everyone in the town was calling him father. I was like, how many why? How many kids does he? I didn't get the message.
Nobody calls their dad father either.
Well, that's why it was really weird. It felt
You
kind of
wouldn't know
culty.
that. You didn't have one, so.
I was like, that was weird. But obviously, as I got older, I realized he's a priest, and priests are called father or preachers or reverends or whatever the fuck they're called. There's so many names for them. Jesus. Oh, you know, and then I said Jesus when we were in the art gallery in the Jesus section. I felt kind of bad. And I said his name in vain, and then looked up. He was there on the crucifix. I was like, oh fuck.
I took a picture of me and that same Jesus, and it said just hanging around with my boy Jesus. So I mean, who's worse?
Bro. If you were wondering what I was eating, by the way, I was eating beer salt.
Ugh.
I love it. It's so good.
What?
Like
What is
lemon
your
flavored.
boyfriend? What'd your boyfriend think of Cleveland?
Oh, he loved it. He thought it was very beautiful.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I had a great time at the art gallery.
The lake. I didn't even think about it.
Huh?
We should have taken him to see the lake. I didn't even think about it.
You know, on the ride up there, I was talking to him about Lake Erie, and I just totally forgot when we were there. You know.
We could have seen it too while we were over by the museum. I fucked up that one.
Kind of cold that day, though. To be honest with you.
It was cold, and not only that, but that whole weekend was just like I was like, I don't know if you noticed, but I was like on edge.
I don't know if you noticed, but I was like on edge. Like on the very edge, like just hanging on by
The
a
whole
thread.
situation wasn't fun, if I'm honest. Like,
We
not that I'm glad you can, but like, don't ever come from
we gotta get it together at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta have our gatherings more organized and shit.
Well, I mean, it didn't help that like we weren't able to organize it as much, you know, because it was supposed to be a surprise. But like, I don't know, man. Like, for whatever reason, that was my birthday, and I felt like I had all these responsibilities. Like, like,
Not to mention when we left, there was a huge mess.
yeah,
I
it's
remember that
not
vividly. After the birthday party, it was like a huge mess, and I'm just like, well, see you later. Yeah, but it was fun. The drive,
and the fucking balloons. I still want to fight mom over that shit.
the
Like
glitter.
the balloons and the glitter and all this. Like, come on. I'm 30 years old, and I'm more practical. I'm a practical person. Don't come over my house and bring balloons. I'll fucking fight you. From now on, that's a new rule. You bring balloons to my house, we're fighting. Like, I don't care who you are. We're fucking fighting. Balloons, confetti. You can bring a cake. That's what you get. You can bring one cake. Between you, one person gets to bring a cake. That's it. This is it. You don't bring more than that. You bring ice cream, presents, I guess. I don't really care about it. Hell, I don't even know if I'm gonna have my birthday at my place anymore. I think I'm done with birthdays. I told Grayson that. I'm done with birthday. Like I think I'm done. Like I'm gonna go do my own thing for my birthday from
You know
now on.
what? You're done with all the fucking major ones anyway. Who cares about fucking
Yeah,
31,
I mean, that's the way I look at it. Like I'm done.
34, 35? Who cares? Like 30 was just like you're 21,
Hopefully, that I'm
18.
30, you motherfuckers will start having kids and stuff, and all the birthdays will be like they'll have like moon bounces, and I can be an uncle. Like
I
I'm better and I'm a better uncle than I am a father, and I'm a great fucking father.
Cole, the more I'm alive, the more I don't want to procreate. I swear to God, like it's at this point, it seems like rude.
21, you're gonna start feeling like you want to have babies in about 4 years. All right.
But it feels rude to like bring them into this.
Feels rude.
That's like some bullshit, honestly. Like if I was born in fucking like 2030 or 2034, whatever, I'd be mad as the fuck. Cause like, what is this shit?
You know that's Jack's graduating class is 2034.
Oh my god!
I didn't even realize that was an actual year.
Woo! You know, I forget it's 2024 sometimes. I'm like,
Yeah, it sounds like a
2023 was kind of a
number,
blur.
right?
2023, 2023 went like that. And it was gone. You know, it was like, oh.
No, fuck that. The 2020s have just blown by.
You know why? Because we're all just working so hard. Like they got us working like dogs, man. Like we're just trying to make ends meet. And I've been watching a lot of the dystopian like movies, like the Hunger Games and like the Divergent series and like shit like that. And I'm just like, it's coming soon, man. Fucking Animal Farm. I was reading Animal Farm as a 16, 17-year-old kid. I couldn't get over the fact that they had animals talking because it felt like this is one of the best books and it's animals talking. Okay, whatever, America. I'll read it. So at the end, when they're like,
book though, right?
it was. And at the end, I remember when like they were saying like all animals are equal, but some are more equal than others. I'm like, that's some shit America would say. That's some shit that's gonna be our new slogan here in about 50 years. Maybe 30 if things looking bad.
The same guy, George Orwell, wrote 1984. I recommend you read that book.
I remember 1984. That one was fucked up. I remember specifically they had people drinking a lot of gin instead of water so that they were just like drunk all the time. And it kind of feels similar to the medication vibe when they're just like, oh, we got medication for that. I'm like, y'all didn't want to try nothing else first? Like y'all didn't even want to listen to like
everything was on camera in the book. Everything's on camera now. We're talking about doing that. China's already doing a what do you call it? A social credit score. Where say you have a social credit score of 100 to 0, all right? And the closer you get to 0, the harder it is for you to like leave your 15-minute city or whatever. Like if you jaywalk, you get -3 points, and your picture is posted everywhere, saying this is a jaywalker, blah blah blah, and they turn your debit card off, and you can only buy basic staples and necessities like electricity and stuff like that. But you can't go and play Xbox. You can't get something from the vending machine. You can't go to the bar and get a drink. Like, yeah.
You know what I think they're gonna do? I'm not very sure like how soon, but I definitely think they're gonna start like mandating microchips. And not in the way you're thinking, not like in your brain, but like definitely in a way that they'd be able to scan it and have your ID, your name. But that's what I'm saying. They're gonna put it in your body. Like they're gonna have a tracking device.
Do you mean like the Neuralink?
Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna like be like brain. They're gonna mandate them for sure.
You know what the Neuralink is?
It's a microchip for the brain.
Yeah. And Elon Musk has been developing it for 5 years now. Maybe longer.
They're gonna use it as a weapon.
They just put it in the first human being.
It's gonna be. They're gonna mandate it. You're gonna have like all your money. There's not gonna be cash. They're gonna get rid of cash.
Like in Idiocracy, where they had the bar scanner.
And it was everything. It was your social. It was all of it. And like a tracking device. They just knew you. That's what they're gonna do for sure.
Did you ever see Idiocracy?
Yeah, I did.
We get closer to that too every day.
Yeah. Yeah. I was talking to my boyfriend last night about like stockpiling. I was talking to him about like the eclipse. Like we were like planning it out because I was like, I don't think it's that far. I don't think it's as far as we thought it was. You know, because our mom was always kind of like stockpiling things. And she never really said it was for the apocalypse, but it always felt like the vibe. It was definitely there for something. And like I didn't really believe her when I was younger. I was like, this is bullshit. You're just crazy. But as I've gotten older, I was like, it might happen.
Well, I mean, you basically heard like World War III is breaking out currently. You know that, right?
That's what they're saying.
Well, yeah, so like Iran and Israel are now at each other's throats.
I heard about that. Yeah.
And well, Israel is our ally, and so is Ukraine. And then Russia and Iran are on each other's sides, you know?
Wait,
So
Ukraine is our ally?
yeah.
We didn't help them with shit.
We've been sending the money the whole time.
We did?
Dude, we've sent them like a couple $100 billion since the war broke out in 2021.
Damn.
Yeah, like, and nobody wants it, by the way. The American people have explicitly said no, and they keep doing it. That's when they passed the TikTok ban. Oh, we need to talk about that. They passed so they've been trying to ban this TikTok bill, or trying to ban TikTok since 2021.
Yeah.
Since Trump was in office. So back in 2020, I think even. And they finally were able to just sneak it in with another bill of money being sent to Ukraine and Israel to fight their wars. And they're like, also, by the way, while we send money over there, what do you think about TikTok being banned? And then fucking Joe Biden said, yeah, and the fucking Senate and everybody said, yeah, it's cool. So that's something that needs to go away, is being able to slide stuff into sneak stuff into a fucking bill. But yeah, we've been sending money over to Ukraine and Israel. You didn't know that? And the American populace has said, no, stop it. And they're just doing it anyway.
That's fucked up. That's shitty. I don't think I'll believe it's a World War III until we start seeing draft papers in the mail. I won't believe it because they're always saying it. They're always saying it's the fucking apocalypse, or it's the, what's it called? It starts with an R. It's that religious one.
The rapture?
The rapture. They say it's the rapture. They
no,
say
like,
it's
broken out. I don't think you realize. Like, we're funding it. We're doing the same thing we did in World War I and World War II, where we stayed out of it. We sent some troops over, maybe some money, and then we got involved after everybody was fucked up. That's what's going to happen.
Well, I mean, as long as we stay out of it, like.
No, we're not going to stay in it. We're going to get in it at the end when everybody's fucked up, like I said. So 2-3 years from now, we're probably going to jump in. But no, like, legitimately World War III started because these are two different wars going on, and they're allies with each other in different parts of the world.
Well, luckily, me and you are safe.
UK's involved. UK's sending money and troops over. Huh?
Well, luckily, me and you aren't going to be drafted. Like, you're too old, and they don't want me.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. As a feminist that I am, I think we should start drafting women. Since this will be the first real war that America's had, we can start drafting women, because I am an equalitist and a feminist, and I think that women should have all the rights as much as all the responsibility.
That, but to be honest with you, I'm safe. either way because I'm fat.
That doesn't matter.
They're not
That
gonna want me.
doesn't matter.
They're not gonna want me. They don't draft
Dude,
the fat.
if it's a war, they'll take everybody. They don't give a fuck. Now you can be gay and shit too. Woo! Everybody's getting a whooping. Everybody's getting a whooping. We're gonna start drafting women and gay people, flat-footed people, fat people, everybody. They drafted fat people in Vietnam. They just made them not fat.
Yeah. I don't think they're gonna get me.
Yeah, they're probably not because women still don't get drafted.
I don't think. Let's hope it's not. How would they declare a world war? Who has to say it?
Everybody just declares war on each other, and then they did. Well, I don't know how they did in World War One, but in World War Two, like there was the Allies group, and then there was the Axis powers.
Yeah.
And so they all kind of declared war on each other, like they were like it was some kind of rap group battle.
Yeah.
You know?
Remember that. I remember learning about that.
Yeah, so that's probably what it is.
Do you think they're going to get other countries involved?
Well, all it takes is for one person, one country to just hit another country. You know what I mean?
You said it was Israel, Iran,
Ukraine, and Russia so far. And what bothers me the most is China hasn't gotten involved yet. And China is on Russia's side. China and Russia, and I think Argentina or maybe Brazil, one of them. They have like a money currency system that they started last year.
Oh shit!
Yeah, they don't. They're off the U.S. dollar. They're not backing their money off the U.S. dollar anymore.
Damn.
They have their own currency now. So Brazil, I think, maybe it's Argentina, China, and Russia.
They took the strongest motherfuckers, which is Russia, and the smartest motherfuckers, which is China, and fucking it's game over.
No, we're the strongest motherfuckers.
Are we?
Mm-hmm.
You think so?
Yeah.
Russia's really big, though.
Russia's huge. They don't have as many people as we do.
Oh, okay.
We have like the third largest population in the world. China is number one, and India is number two. And not only that, but across the world, different militaries will say, there's like a saying where they're like, you hope to God that you have an American on your squad, because like they don't leave people behind. There'll be like in situations like where you're supposed to retreat, they'll call for backup, and instead of retreating, the Americans will say, "We're going to hang tight and just keep firing until you find us." Like we don't follow certain like protocols that most other militaries follow. We just keep going, and we either die or we win. Usually, we win because we have like very well strategic strategies. Not that, but we have bases everywhere. Have you ever played the game Risk?
No.
So it's a board game, right? It's kind of like Monopoly. And the idea is that you try to take up all the countries until you've taken over the entire world, right?
Right.
Well, the basic number one strategy that a lot of people don't even realize if you don't play Risk a lot is if you take over America, you get all the countries in America, or territories or whatever, in North America, it's almost impossible to take over because of how it's set up, and that's how it is. It's set up like real life. America, we're too impenetrable. You'd have to go through Canada, which is impossible because it's too fucking cold, pretty much year round. And we would know what's up if Canada was
invaded.
Yeah, invaded. And then you have to go through Mexico, which is overrun by drug cartels and criminals, and they don't fuck with that. And not only that, but they're working with us with our CIA. We would know what's up. You can't fuck with us. You know what I mean? We'd be ready to fucking. We have the American fleets just all over the Atlantic and the Pacific. Even in World War II, they bombed Hawaii and thought they got them something. All they got them was a fucking nuke up their ass. You know what I mean? Like, so no, we have the best military probably ever in American history or in world history. So I'm not worried about losing. I'm just worried about getting drafted, which I won't. I'm 30 now. I'm not going to get drafted, but I do have a brother who will get drafted, and he's not real tough. Like, but he does have the spirit for it because he always wants to fight. So
Yeah, you got that right. Don't they also sometimes let the people in prison join the military?
Yeah, it depends. I don't know on what though, but it does depend.
We got a lot of people in prison too, so they should go through this first.
Yeah, I guess. But then I don't know if I necessarily am cool with that because then that'll make because our number one and number two industries in this country are our military and our prisons. We don't need to give them any more power to put people in prison or in the military. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because prisons are for profit.
It feels pretty wild that they could just like put you in the military.
Yeah, it feels pretty wild. They can just put you in prison too.
Getting drafted. Like, what do you mean? You're gonna make me? I thought America was the land of the free. How are you gonna make me?
Right. But also take in consideration that you could just be put in prison for something you didn't even do. They're like, yeah, the evidence is against you. But I literally didn't do it.
Well, I guess one of us is gonna have to like become a politician or something if we want to see any changes being made.
That is a long term goal of mine. To maybe become mayor of the city I live in, or maybe governor or whatever, senate. But I don't know. I'm not real likable. So
A lot of our candidates aren't real likable either.
yeah, but they lie, so people do like them, and that's what's not likable about me is I say motherfucker and goddamn it and talk shit. And I'm very not pro women's rights whatsoever. I don't know if you know. I'm pro equality. I'm pro equality, but I'm not like on your side whatsoever. You know,
No,
I'm not like if you want to have an abortion, I'm very fine with you having an abortion, but like like if I was in charge, I'm like child support, that's gone. No fault divorce, that's gone. You know, like so like I'm sorry. Like you if you want to get divorced, you better accept fault and you don't get half the shit or you lose half your shit or whatever, but like you got to prove fault if that's the case. You can get divorced. Everybody should be allowed to have a divorce. That's not what I'm saying. But no fault divorce, that's dumb. Oh, I just want to get divorced and have all of his shit and get the child support and the custody of the kids because of irreconcilable differences. Fuck you. So yeah. It's probably a good thing that I don't become and I have tattoos and shit. I don't know, you know. Like so
you heard about those tornadoes?
uh no, like what's up with that? What
There
tornadoes?
are a bunch of tornadoes in like Midwest US. There was one in Nebraska, caused a building to collapse with a bunch of people in it. It damaged like, hundreds of homes around Omaha.
Is everybody okay or did people die?
I think people died. I gotta check. I don't know. Like I'm reading
What?
it right
People
now.
live in Nebraska.
I don't know. But what was weird was I was just looking up tornadoes like 2 weeks ago. Not even gonna like you know, I'm always saying I'm a psychic because I fucking am, bro. I was just looking up tornadoes again. I've always been obsessed with the movie Twister. I was looking up tornadoes like 2 weeks ago, and
Movie.
I learned about.
Hear me?
What?
They're making people to Twister.
Oh, I'm not gonna watch it. It's not gonna live up.
This summer.
I'm not gonna watch it.
You're not gonna watch it. It's called Twisters.
No.
No, it's got Glenn Powell in it. Though.
It's gonna ruin it. I'm not watching it. They always, to be honest, they always ruin it. They always do. It always sucks. Anytime they're like, "We're gonna do it again," please don't. Just don't. Just leave it alone. But anyway,
movie up. It's just about chasing tornadoes. It didn't. The first one didn't really have a plot to begin with.
that's what makes it so good.
So how are they gonna fuck that up?
But yeah, I was looking up tornadoes like 2 weeks ago, and I learned about a tornado that was called Dead Man Walking, and apparently it's pretty much just like two tornadoes because it's like one big tornado but with like two twisters like right next to each other, and then like it'll like they'll go in front of each other.
Tornadoes?
Yeah, and they'll like go in front of each other, and it'll look like they're walking. They have it on footage, bro.
That's God saying leave.
I swear to God, when I saw it, I was like, that's not that's not
That's not Mother Nature.
That's a thing. That's like
like
it literally looked like a person walking. You got to look it up. I'm telling you, bro, it was like scary shit.
bro, that's a Titan.
It's a Titan. I was gonna say like the Titans and fucking Hercules that are like locked under the ground. Like it was crazy. But that was like years ago. That footage of that was like 30 or 40 years ago. And they had like just posted the footage or some shit. It was really weird. But I find it interesting. I was just like looking up tornadoes and like some of the deadliest tornadoes on TikTok, and then this shit happens. But I mean, tornadoes happen all the time. So like you can always doubt a psychic. You know what I'm saying? They never want to give us credit.
You didn't give proof. You gotta start telling me everything you're thinking, and then I'll start.
Because like I'll just be looking something up, and then be like, oh, let's go look at tornadoes, and then like some massive tornadoes will just like tear through.
What if not a psychic?
I don't even live in. So if it's like I'm getting a premonition, it's like you're not getting the point across. You're not doing very good at a
What if
premonition.
you're not a psychic? What if you're an omen?
Well, then someone's got to get down here and teach me because I'm doing bad. I hadn't caught any of the omens. Like, I'm not.
You're a witch.
Do you know that I do always, if I'm walking under a lamppost that is flickering, it'll either turn off or turn on?
Weird.
Yes, and I had a boyfriend actually in Ohio call me a witch. Not in like a mean way. He was making a joke. But because when he would walk me home from the park, there was always a lamp that was flickering. And whenever I would walk under it, it would turn off. And when we walked away, it would turn back on. He was like, you're a witch. I was like, it's always happened to me, though. And it used to happen to Mom. Weird, right?
This is negative energy.
If you say so. You can't convince anybody of that.
It's hard to feel bad for people in Nebraska. Like that was a tragedy, and I'm sorry to hear that. But at the same time, those are all the descendants of people who couldn't make it to California during the gold rush. They're just like, fuck it, we give up. And then they had babies. Like, there's just a bunch of fucking losers there. Like, the descendants of people who quit. And you still live there? God's trying to kill you every spring.
Right.
Spring is a good like that's a good like season. And then God doesn't even want you to be there. Get out of there. Go do what your descendants were supposed to do, move to California and fix it, honestly. Because you know it's mostly Republicans out there. So that California needs balance.
So it said at least 2 people died and 16 were critically injured where tornadoes touched down in Nebraska. But listen to this shit, right? You know how you were just saying that's God telling you something? The deadliest tornado in Nebraska history occurred on Easter Sunday, resulting in 103 fatalities and 400 injuries. I think, yeah, because I said, I'm pretty sure.
What God, bro?
Bro, hold on.
Oh, shit.
Because now you're starting to sound like the Southerners, Clay. Okay, so be careful. The Southerners all the time. It's God. It's God. Was that this Easter Sunday? It looked like it was this one.
God in a traditional sense, like a Christian sense. I believe in God in the same way that, like, I don't know, like the ancient Greeks do. Like, there's a bunch of deities up there, and they don't really, like, we're just ants to them, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and they just come down to fuck with us. Or maybe I believe in more. I think I believe in more of Norse mythology than Greek mythology, but yeah, like in that sense. Not that I believe in like Thor necessarily, but like um just that like if there are deities, they're not some like master plan. We're gonna be for you. You're gonna come to heaven, or if you're bad, you're gonna go to hell. Like they don't fuck with us. You know what I mean? And if they do, because they're like annoyed or whatever, you know.
Yeah. I've always been very interested in Egyptian mythology.
That's just dark, bro. That's just straight
Like,
fucking
I
black
feel like
magic.
the Egyptians were onto something, honestly.
The
Because they were so
Egyptians?
fucking smart and they were so fucking. They were just so advanced.
Yeah, I mean, if you like talking about Egyptian history and whatnot, or listening to it, you should really check out the Joe Rogan Experience because he brings that up every once in a while. You're like, no.
Oh no, I did that. That tornado happened in like 1913 or some shit. I don't know why I brought it up, but apparently that was the deadliest tornado. But it was on an Easter Sunday, so that should tell you something.
What the fuck? You didn't have internet in 1913? What the fuck? Why did that even come up?
Right, like that's not what I googled. It's so hard to find shit these days because they're just like talking about shit that I don't care about.
Dude,
Like you can never
that,
get to the point on anything.
have you noticed that like when you go to Google something, you can't fucking find shit anymore? Like
Yeah, I have
Google
noticed that.
is impossible.
That's literally what just happened to me.
Over the past like few weeks, maybe months. Like it is impossible to use Google as a search tool anymore.
Yeah. It's like I'm trying to look for like names and dates and shit, and you're not putting like the certain dates and shit and like numbers and shit. Like, why aren't you putting?
You can't find Wikipedia unless you Google it specifically. Wikipedia used to be the first thing that would come up whenever you Googled anything. It was like the first page, and now it don't even come up on the first page anymore.
Nope. It's all just bullshit now, to be honest with you.
They're trying to fucking stifle our intelligence and our knowledge.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I was talking about white vinegar in my washing machine with a coworker the other day because I was talking about cleaning my washing machine out, and then I got an ad for like something involving white vinegar on Facebook, and I was like, you gotta be shitting me, dude. Like, that's so specific. Like, there's no way you could have just like snuck that in. That's so oddly specific. Like, you had to be listening.
Listening to us.
Yeah.
I'm probably on some kind of watch list with all the shit I talk.
Honestly, bro, you need to be careful. They're gonna take you out. You remember those trains that tried to get you? Really wasn't an accident.
Oh shit.
But that goes back to the whole like we're on like a Truman Show vibe. You know, Truman Show. For anyone who doesn't know the Truman Show, it's like this guy is living in a reality, but it's a fake reality. Like there's actors and shit, and he's the only one who's not in on it. So he starts noticing that people just start fucking acting weird. And that's literally how I live my everyday life. Like I'll be in the grocery store and I'll be like, these motherfuckers are fake. These are actors. Partly because they got a lot of fucking secret shoppers these days. So you just always feel eyes on you. But also because, like, dude, I saw someone, like, trying to sweep the other day, and they were pushing the broom, like, in front of him. And then, like, walked in front of us out of his way while we're clearly trying to exit with our buggy. Like, first of all, you work at Walmart. That was extremely rude, and you don't even know how to sweep. You had to be an actor. Like, there's no way you're, oh, I'm sweeping. Don't be caught. Like, the jig is up, fam. Jig is up.
They didn't have the set ready for you to leave yet.
So sure, because it's always times when you're like, oh, let's go run to Walmart, and it's like 11 o'clock at night, and all the people there are like pretending to work, and like you always ask them where shit is, and they never fucking know because they don't really work there. I told you one time I asked, I was like, where's the bleach? And the lady was like, oh, it's like over there. Where the fuck is over there? First of all. So I ignored it. I ignored it. I went to a different lady. She said the same shit. She was like, "It's over there."
It's over there.
I
That's
had to leave the Walmart, get back into my mom's car, and be like, "Mom, I can't do it because I keep asking where the fucking bleach is, and they're acting like I'm not speaking English. Like I can't. I'm having a fucking panic attack in here, bro." She had to go in and find the bleach.
there's if you go on TikTok, they have that diagnosed as what is it called? Main character syndrome.
Bullshit, dude. Like that's you got something for everything. You can just never admit that like I'm the main character.
They try to make it's called gaslighting.
Yeah, don't bullshit me. This is the fucking Hunger Games, just really elaborate. It's a simulation.
But I do think I'm gonna cut it short here.
Sounds
good. Thanks for coming to my birthday last weekend, and
no problem.
You had fun?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. How was the trip home, by the way?
It was good. It was smooth sailing. Honestly, we got home pretty quick too.
Not as eventful as the ride up here.
No, definitely not.
That's good. Where'd y'all go through? Y'all go through like Tennessee and all that, or did you go through Indiana?
No, we went through Kentucky and Tennessee.
Yeah, so that's the way Mom hates, evidently, but I love that way
because you see a lot fucking way, bro.
And if you go through Tennessee, there's really good food. There's good chicken. There's good barbecue. Like I don't know if y'all stop, but
no, we didn't really stop because it was mostly nighttime when we first started driving through Kentucky and Tennessee. So mostly everything was closed.
Good chicken in Kentucky as well, also. But
well, like I said,
you could have picked up a bottle of whiskey from Kentucky.
This plan was just so last minute. It was so brief. I was only up there for like 4 days. The next time we go, we'll probably take more time off and we'll probably like sightsee and stuff, but this one was just kind of rushed because I wasn't anticipating being up there. But next time we visit, it'll definitely be longer and like everybody will know and probably gonna get a hotel room. No, I'm kidding.
Do you guys have a plan on when you might come back up here? Yeah.
No, not yet. Not right now. Just back to living life, paying bills, dealing with the bullshit.
Y'all should. I know. I would say come up for your birthday, but that's too soon. After you just came up here, you probably don't want to do all that. But
well, we could probably start doing something for like holidays. Like probably not on
Christmas or something. I
probably can't come on Christmas, but I can come around Christmas. I work on my holidays. We're open 24/7.
Fuck them. You're there every year.
There's no exceptions. But we can go around Christmas. Like, you don't even know if you're going to have Jack every Christmas. I'd have to figure out a Christmas that you had your son.
I have him for Christmas this year. I know when I'm supposed to have him. Like, trust me, I do. I know how my holidays are going to work out until he turns 18. Trust me. Down to the exact minute I'm supposed to have him. So I don't ever not have him when I'm supposed to have him, but I always have him when I'm not supposed to have him. A lot.
Right. And it could even be a situation where we come like around Thanksgiving or around, Christmas, maybe even like early January, just so like we'll come up there and have another fucking celebration. You know what I mean? Like I'll bring gifts for everybody and we could just, you don't always have to come on the holiday. I don't really like holidays. I don't know if I told you that. I don't like them.
I fucking love Christmas. I like to decorate. I like Thanksgiving. I like Halloween. That time of year is like the shit. I like New Year's.
It feels like a ploy to make me spend money.
You don't have to get nothing. I just like to see like the Christmas lights and put up my own Christmas tree and all that shit. I don't get nobody else nothing. I get shit for Jack.
Like, have you ever noticed holidays are like very spread out throughout the year, so there's like a fluctuation of money constantly?
Yeah.
What? Yeah. Fuck that shit. I'm sick of being into that shit. It's bullshit because I gotta make money, and y'all are the ones telling me I have to do not you specifically. Like society is the one telling us, "Oh, do these holidays." No, fuck you, dude. Because you just want to make me spend money, and I don't like to. Y'all want to keep me broke, and I'm trying to get rich. That's what whenever every time I go on fucking Facebook or TikTok or you look at this. No, I don't want to buy nothing. I want to listen to music for free. I thought that's what this was. I didn't know it was propaganda and subliminal messaging.
That's the only.
But anyway, on that note,
Later.
peace out. Bye, y'all.
Bye.